3 days ago, my partner, 32M, his mother, and I, 25F, were on our way to his sister's house for her daughter's birthday. My partner and I had an argument the night before about having children. This was not a new issue. He wants a child, and we've been trying for a few months now. I suggested we see a doctor, but he believes we're both healthy and young and that we must be doing something wrong. I was already exhausted from work and wanted to rest, so I didn't argue much, which only made him angrier. I sat up, let him have his moment, and then slept. The next day, we went to pick up his mother. I tried to start a conversation, but he just kept nodding. With his mom in the car, I tried my best to lighten the mood so she wouldn't feel uncomfortable. After about 5 minutes, he said, "Can you shut your mouth for a minute? I don't want to hear your voice." His mother asked him what was wrong. I simply said, "I know what's wrong with him." He stopped the car and yelled at me, saying that since I knew what was wrong, I must also know what an immature BTCH I am for starting a discussion with no intention of communicating. He was the one who had started it and refused to lower his voice and sit down so we could communicate like adults. All this time, his mother just watched from the backseat. I grew up in a household where everyone yelled to prove their point, and I hate raised voices. Him screaming at me about an argument we had yesterday on our way to a birthday party we were supposed to enjoy made me lose it. I snapped at him, "Can you stop effing screaming? Can't we talk about this when we're back home?" He grabbed my face and told me never to talk to him that way, especially in front of his mother. To this moment, she said nothing. His grip on my jaw worsened with every word. He had done this before but never used this much force. To take his hand off me, I tried to grab his wrist and push but ended up scratching him a little. I swear to God, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't bear the pain and wanted him to let go. His mother suddenly decided to use her voice and started yelling at me for hurting him. She got out of the car and went to his side to check his wrist. I wanted to check his wrist too but was afraid of him losing it even more. He brushed it off, told his mom it was nothing, and started the car again. Back home, he went straight to the guest room. I decided to spend the next night at my parents' house to figure out what to do. My mother and his are friends. I didn't say anything, but later that night, my parents told me his mother had visited in the morning and told them about the fight. She mentioned the argument without explaining how he started it, his relentless screaming, and how he grabbed my face. Instead, she only mentioned that I had scratched him. Now my family is lecturing me about respecting him and considering counseling, and by family, I mean my mother and little brother. My dad didn't say anything. I told them how it really happened and tried to show them the bruise on my jaw, but they wouldn't listen because they believe his mother can't possibly lie and the boy they watched growing up can't be this bad. But the daughter they raised can lie and be this bad? For God's sake, they know I don't tolerate raised voices and avoid heated arguments at any cost, but none of them are listening to me now, except for my big brother, who is close friends with my soon-to-be ex. What hurts me is that instead of comforting me, they are taking his side, even though they have seen him raise his voice before and call his coworker names. Is it because my little brother brought his girlfriend home, and they gave her my room so she can be close to college? Are they scared that if I break up with him, I will come back to stay with them and ruin everything? I have a stable job and can take care of myself just fine. I want to go back to break up with him and pack my things, but I can't even look him in the eye now after what he put me through. We have been together for 8 years on and off. He has called and texted, but as I said, I don't even want to hear his voice. He apologized for what he did in a few texts. I'm considering showing them to my family, but I feel sad that I need to do that to gain their emotional support. All my things are still there, and I have never done this before because he is my first everything. I'm mad that his mother lied for him while my family didn't even listen to me. I'm thinking, F them all, except for my big brother. Update 1. Thank you all for your opinions on my previous post. The night I shared that post, I didn't sleep a wink but had to go to work anyway. I didn't want to go back to my parents' house, but I had nowhere else to go, which made things even more complicated. I was exhausted and all I wanted was to sleep, but my younger brother wouldn't let me. He kept trying to talk about it and repeating the things his mother had told them. I literally felt like my eyes were going to shut on their own from exhaustion. Suddenly, I felt his hand under my chin. When I looked up, his face was so close to mine, checking the bruise, and I pushed him. I know what I did was wrong, but at that moment, he wasn't my younger brother or anyone I knew. I don't know how to explain this part, but it was sudden, and I didn't realize what was happening, I guess. I just don't know why I pushed him, not too hard, but enough to make him back off a little. I think lack of sleep messed with my head, but still, when I realized what was happening, I apologized immediately, but he didn't take it well. My mother told him, "It's okay, she's just exhausted," and then said, "Why didn't you just show us the bruise yesterday?" I told her, "That's exactly what I tried to do, but you wouldn't listen." In her defense, it was covered with makeup and didn't look bad. Then she said my partner and I need to sit down and sort things out, and that I should apologize for the scratch too. I did, the moment it happened. She also offered to call and ask him to come tomorrow so we could talk and fix things. I was too tired to argue with her, so I grabbed my things and left. I got a hotel room, it's temporary. Yes, I have a stable job, but I can't afford to stay here for long. I need to be careful with my money since I'm going to need to find myself a place, buy furniture, and other things. I sent him a long, descriptive text where I mentioned everything that happened that day. I even mentioned how it wasn't the first time, but this time it left a bruise. I included the scratch and apologized for it again, as one of you advised me to do, and I got a response. So I guess it's something. My big brother made it clear to me that he doesn't care if they are close friends, family comes first. He said he will bring a friend to help me pack my things when I'm ready. He also offered to let me stay with him as long as I need, but I can't do that. He and his fiancée recently had a baby, and her mother is staying with them to help for a few months. I don't want to make things hard for them. The only friend I have is on a business trip. She was supportive and said I can stay with her when she comes back on Saturday, so I'm waiting for now. She's the only friend I trust. I never felt the need to have more than one since my partner and I used to do pretty much everything together. I can't help but feel like I'm overreacting. I do want to leave and I'm acting on it. But then again, this thought keeps crossing my mind that he's not always like this. I know I'm an idiot. I'm just sharing this with you because I can't be this honest with my brother, and I definitely can't say this to my family. My brother advised me not to answer his calls and texts until I leave, so I don't give him a chance to talk me out of this. My father called me this morning and apologized for not saying anything. He offered me money, $1,500, which I don't think I should accept. By the way, he loves my mother very much, and for him, whatever she says goes. So, to be honest, I'm not disappointed that he didn't stand up for me that day. At least he didn't try to shut me up. For now, I'm gathering any paperwork I might need. Also, I feel I should clarify something. Yes, we dated for 8 years, but we didn't become exclusive until I was 18. He actually waited. It was my older brother's idea, though. His only condition was that nothing would happen between us until I turned 18. You know what I mean by nothing. I think because they were close friends and knowing that my brother was against it at first made him keep his promise. That's all. I will try and give a final update when I sort everything out. Thank you again. Update 2. I don't know where to start. To be honest, I completely forgot about updating until I got a notification a few days ago from someone asking if I got away. A few days after my last update, my brother and a friend of his went with me to pack my belongings. Thank God they did, because we found his mother there too. My ex kept asking to talk with me in private, but both my brother and his friend told him to say whatever he wanted with them in the room. He apologized and asked me to give him another chance, with his mother telling him to man up and stop begging the whole time. I called my friend to thank her again and let her know that I would be staying with my brother for the time being. I stayed with him for 2 weeks. Honestly, I didn't expect his mother-in-law to be that kind. Both she and her daughter, my brother's fiancée, were good to me. I tried to help with the baby, which helped keep my mind off things a little and not feel like I was in the way. I mentioned in my original post that my ex and I were trying for a baby. I also mentioned in my first update how I felt tired all the time. I thought it was because I was going through a tough time, but I didn't know I was pregnant until I miscarried. With everything going on, I didn't pay attention to my period. I started having period-like cramps the night before. I continued to have cramps the next day, which turned into bleeding, and it was like having a bad period, but the bleeding continued to worsen over the course of the day. I probably wouldn't have even thought I was pregnant if my sister-in-law hadn't told me that I might be miscarrying. I was 6 weeks along. Other than the miscarriage, which I'm still a little shaken by, everything has been good with me. I found myself a place 30 minutes from work, and I'm adjusting. The last time he showed up at my work was a week ago or so. 2 of my co-workers told him to never show up again since he has no reason to be there, and he hasn't come back since. I'm no contact with my mother and younger brother. She tries to reach me through my older brother, but he told me it's better if I stay no contact at least for a few months. When I posted, I was more focused on his mother lying to my family, but the real issue was him doing that in front of her. If she hadn't visited and lied, I probably wouldn't have told my family and never posted here. So I would have never known that's not how things work and that's not how my partner should treat me. I sometimes think about my ex. I know I seem weak, but I've known him for so long, and he was my first everything. But now I don't have to worry about a lot of things. I wake up relaxed and don't have to worry about messing something up. By the way, my first therapy session is this Tuesday. That's all, thank you all.